Morning, everyone. Robert Comrade here. It is just before 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning, and just wanted to say to those of you who know me and to those of you who don't know me, and to those of you who may get to know me one day, happy Thanksgiving to you. And everybody has their own way of celebrating it, but I hope that it's a good one, and I hope that you get to have time with the people you love, family, friends, or whoever, and that everything is good for you. I talk to myself out loud, and I used to think that was weird when I heard people doing it. Now I don't think it's weird at all, because I'm alone. I live alone. I'm alone most of the time. And Jimi Hendrix has a song, I think, maybe it's called My Friend. And he's talking about himself, and it's sometimes you are your only friend, and that's okay. It's not that I don't have friends, don't get me wrong, but I don't have friends that I hang out with. Not like I used to when I was younger, and I think that's normal for the most part for people my age to not be hanging out necessarily like we did when we were kids, but there are people that do, and that they have common interests, and they're in clubs. And guys, I'm talking about, I don't like the word normal, but I'm talking about healthy, good things. I'm not talking about hanging out at bars. That's a scene for some people, and it's okay for some people, but for most people, it's not. I don't think the place to hang out. But a lot of us older people do hang out at those places. But anyway, so I talked to myself, and I also write poetry. I write lots of poetry, lots of poetry. I wrote 11 poems in 8 hours the other day, and it's not just a bunch of crappy rhymes. They're actually good poems out there. And I'm not judging myself. This is what people are telling me on the site. It's called allpoetry.com. If you go there, my username is BlueCheer420, just like it sounds. Blue Cheer, hooray! 420, all one word. The C in cheer is capitalized, and the B in blue is capitalized. Okay. But so it gets me to thinking about a lot of stuff and talking out loud, and and anyway, I will listen to music sometimes when I write. So I wanted to get a certain mood, and I thought that I'll listen to some Sarah McLachlan and the album Surfacing, which is a really great album. It has the song In the Arms of the Angel and Building a Mystery. It's Adia is on there. It has songs that when you listen to the album you'll recognize them. But anyway, I hadn't listened to it in a long time, because that album was listened to me the most at a certain period in my life, which wasn't too long ago, just about 2-3 years ago. And I was living in a certain place, but and I had a cat. His name was Squeaky, who I had gotten by way of, she just wandered up, and I do not make much money. I live on a veteran's pension. I do work, but I just don't make a lot of money, and so I've lived in low income, low rent places, and I was living in a place that did not even have air conditioning, and it was in Houston, and so I would leave my window open. I was on the second floor. A cat or two would wander in every now and then, or would come in the window and look. Squeaky came in, and just kind of hung out. She wouldn't let me pet her and everything, but she'd stay there, and she'd go kind of under the TV and just watch me, and I'd feed her. Anyway, over time she got more comfortable with me, but she still did not like to be picked up. What she liked to do in the way of physical closeness was, if I laid down on my back, she would climb up on my chest, lay right here on my chest, about maybe a foot away from my face, and just stare at me. So anyway, this album is attached to her, and I lost her in a way that it hurts me because I blame myself. the way I was living then was really bad. I didn't do anything. I was living in a house in a predominantly black neighborhood, and absolutely nothing against black folks. People don't even go there. I'm just giving you what the setting, okay, the actual setting. And I didn't have a car. I walked everywhere I went. I smoked synthetic marijuana. I was starting to drink beer again, and I was stealing food because I didn't have that much money. I mean, I was just really doing just really bad stuff, man, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking medications like I should. I mean, it was just, I was really in a terrible life. And then Hurricane Harvey came, and so I had to leave, and I had to leave her. And it still bothers me, but I really didn't know what else to do. When I left there, the house was not flooded. The house did not flood. I was in a house with two other veterans. We were renting it, and Squeaky was not allowed in the house by the landlord. And she had a couple of kittens. They were old enough to take care of themselves. They stayed in a shed behind the house. But anyway, when I left there, I had to go to a shelter or to a mission, and I mean, I couldn't take her with me. And I don't really know why I was thinking so hard on that this morning. I'm sorry. Yes, I do. I wanted to listen to this music to set a mood, and I haven't been listening to it because it hurts to listen to it, but because of the memories of Squeaky and how that we parted ways, how that I left her behind. And what's really strange about that is that the album surfacing, the music is really inspiring and beautiful and nice. So I got this real pain, deep pain, and it is deep. I loved it. This cat, and so it's a strange mix of emotion, and so anyway, I'm about to play it, not here live, but and see what happens, see what idea or inspiration will come out of that for a poem, and I will. Her name will be in the title, maybe just by itself, but that's probably the way it'll be. Anyway, in thinking also and talking out loud, guys, I've been trying to find a way to say something that's really, really important that's happened to me, that a lot of people will just not they'll think it's ridiculous, and some will even laugh at it, some will scoff, some will get mad. I mean, it brings out a whole wide range of emotions in people, and that is that I have undergone the Christian transformation is what I want to call it. I stay away from religious cliches, and I don't go to church. Part of the reason for that is I didn't grow up in church. I don't have, sentimental attachments to it. I have gone a few times. I was in prison for 19 and a half years over my lifetime, on and off. The last of which was many, many years ago. Okay. 1990 was the last day I was in jail in 1990. But so I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So I've known about Christianity and Christian experiences for a long time, but What I want to ask you to do is, I think what I was getting at is that all the cliches, the church attendance, the religion, the current religion that man has built around the Christian faith, the real Christian faith, that can be found in the Bible, which I'll say this much about the Bible, and which will lead me into what I was going to say next. You can say what you want to, think what you want to, whatever about the Bible, and I'm talking about King James Bible. And I mean, I'm sure there's a few others. I'm not super knowledgeable about all the Bibles, but by King James, I mean standard. Well, let me back up a second. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The modern versions, New International American Standard. I mean, there are a lot of good versions out there, including the King James. That's the Bible I'm talking about. And those manuscripts, and you can say what you want to about them, you can believe them or not. Take that for a second and just put it down here for a second. Take all the phony televangelists and the other crap that you see and hear about Christianity that turns you off. Put it down. Put it down for a second. All the wondering you've ever done about, is there a God? Should I just be good to get to heaven? I mean, take every single thought you've ever had about God, spirituality, Christianity, religion, and put it down right here for a second. And ask yourself, seriously, guys, listen to me. I'm trying to say something and I'm having a little bit of difficulty saying it or expressing it. I did before I turned the camera on, but now I'm having a little trouble. What I'd like you to do is to just take a look at whether or not really there is some being out there or force or I mean, call it whatever you want, that is somehow involved with us or connected with us in some way, created us, if you will. I mean, like I said, put it however you will, but let's stay right here with me just a second. I mean, just really think about that. Is there really something out there? I think there is. And I want to show people proof. And I've been trying to figure a way to do that. And what I'm hoping to do, it's going to take a lot of work, but I think this probably is my life's work. I used to wonder what it is, and I think maybe this is it. And I'm being really serious with you. I am a Christian, and I am what I am, and I don't try to perform for anyone, or conform either. And I serve a God that I understood when I read the Bible, and I serve Him and am connected with Him through His Son, Jesus Christ, that through the Bible story of man and sin and the whole business, Jesus was the one who could right everything. And in the Christian jargon, that's, wash away your sins and shed His blood for your sins. All of that, which I ask you to put down for a second. Don't try to interpret it. That was the way it was written, and that's the way it is. And so, to me, I'm sorry. And, that's who I am, that's what I believe. And to me, that's all that matters, man. I mean, you can denominate yourself to death and chant yourself and dress a certain... You could do all that just religious crap that man has put on to it. It's not going to do a thing for you. But you will be in the Spirit. You will be a Christian by simply putting your faith in the promises of God, that Jesus died for your sins and that His death pays for your sins. and you put your faith in that and really trust that and believe that, a connection's made. A connection's made right there. You become one in the Spirit of God, and it's an amazing journey, guys. Anyway, get back to what I was saying. I hope to assemble as much documentation and video evidence as I can of my former life first. And I mean, real guys, my life was horrible, and I'm not going to go into it here. I mean, it's still not tremendous. I still smoke cigarettes, which I'm going to light one right now, but I mentioned already 19.5 years locked up, 5 times sent to prison for felonies, probably another 6-7 times sent back to prison for parole violations. So I've actually been to prison a bunch of times. I don't know how many times I've been arrested, and you know, most of my crimes, all but one of my crimes, matter of fact, were not hurting anyone. Not like shooting, stabbing, robbing. They were just stupid, like burglary and just really just prescription forgery. But one crime, which I will reveal in my testimony, I hurt someone very, very bad, very deeply. So I went from being that person to some person that is completely different. And I just want to show that. I want to prove that. Because just basically I went from that basic outline of a person that did all the time in prison, and man, I went through job after job, one marriage, thankfully only one, but I couldn't maintain relationships. Nobody wanted to be around me. Drank real heavy in the late 70s and throughout the 80s. 10 or 15 years of just heavy drinking. And just a real life that was just wasted and directionless. To now where I am, I think a little shy of 120, 115 YouTube videos on 4 channels. It was going to be 5 channels, but YouTube only allows you to upload videos longer than 15 minutes if you enter a phone number and register or something, but you can only do 2 channels per phone number. I already had 4 channels on 2 different phone numbers. I didn't have another phone number, so I combined or I added the new channel to one of my older channels, and that is the channel you're on right now. But those videos also will provide some documentation, because you'll be able to see my early stuff, which was on a channel called Robert Conrad, and a lot of stuff about weed and just some kind of kidding around sort of things. I was new at making videos. I mean, I still am. I can't even get my laptop. I've got downloaded an app. I did all kinds of stuff, man, to get to be able to make videos on my laptop, so I won't have to hold this cell phone. And I finally got it to where it's kind of working, but I did a really good video, and I played it back and there was no sound, and I went and looked up through everything I could look through to get the sound, and it just wasn't happening. So I wanted to make this video to say what I needed to say this morning. So I know this little old cell phone, the $60 cell phone that's got me through 100 plus videos, will get me through this one. Also, there are, I bet, 200 poems. I just finished one. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'm not going to read it to you or anything. And if I don't point this camera right, guys, I'm sorry, but I just finished one. It's called, it's called For Now, anyway. And all it's about is, I don't know, I'm not even going to say what it's about. But it's sort of, it mentions God. And so my point was going to be that about 200 poems. I've got 116 posted to allpoetry.com. And the others are just laying around, and I got 3 notebooks, and I found envelopes that I've written on, pieces of newspaper that I've picked up off the ground and wrote down stuff. So it's all over the place. But my point to all this, guys, and please, let me try to wrap this up. Take all the stuff I asked you to take and put that aside for a second. I just would like you to make a single judgment here on me and see if you think that what I'm telling you has any validity at all, or am I out of my mind? And because now I don't drink, I don't take any illegal drug, or I smoke pot, which is not legal in this state, but very sparingly and very responsibly, which I believe people could do. And also don't think for a moment that God has anything against a person smoking pot. For a Christian that's a real Christian to believe that, they are so disconnected from the Spirit of God and spirituality, and so plugged into traditional religious teachings and societal values, that they can't think for a minute that God, a creator that created everything, is going to go, you don't be smoking that stuff, boy. I mean, come on, guys. It doesn't mean anything to God if you smoke pot or if you drink alcohol. If you do those things responsibly, good heavens, come on. But no psych meds, no. I'm really clear-headed, really focused now, and I'm stable financially in my home here, and I have a sort of a network, a social network. My coworkers, I get along well with everybody. Everything is opposite from the way it was, and that's the point I'm trying to get across to everyone. But anyway, I hope to tie everything together into a good video. Like I said, with documentation, I'm going to get my laptop up and running. I'll get an editing app where I can show the documentation. Maybe interview people if possible. I hope to go to West Virginia, where I'm from, near Christmas. And it would be really nice to run into people that knew me the way I was, because they didn't want me around then, and then be able to kind of see me the way I am now and get their reaction. And because bottom line is this, guys. No matter what you believe, no matter what you've been taught, no matter what your deepest searching, soul searching has revealed to you, no matter any of that, guys, I just want you to look at one person who is telling you that a relationship with Jesus Christ that is described in the Bible is real. It's real. And it's worth looking into. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you at all to read the Bible, or to, ask someone that you know is a Christian that you kind of respect, that, lives kind of like you think they should. Be careful there, because you're also going to get their own interpretation of Christianity. But anyway, it's better to look for yourself and avoid Google, because to get other explanations or information, because with the exception being if you're Googling a source that for example, a study Bible like Ryries, or Strong's Concordance, something that is assisting you to understand what you're reading, that is from a source that is a reliable Christian source, known Christian source, that's okay. But your speculators on Google, oh my goodness. Do it, guys. Do it for yourself. Just check it out for yourself, because I heard a guy the other day say this, and I'll close out with this. The company that you may be familiar with this. It was major network news. Some company somewhere bought their employees, is buying their employees a gun for Christmas. I think it's some 300 employees. Well, I may not have the facts right, but I do know that I think the value could be up to $500. So they wanted to know from the owner, why are you doing this? And he was basically saying that people should protect themselves, and that he would rather be safe than sorry, basically. He'd rather be safe than sorry. So when it comes to Christianity and the Christian faith, guys, listen. Wouldn't you rather die and find out that there is a God, there really is a God, and that you had lived the way He wanted you, that you had accepted Jesus Christ, His Son, and wouldn't you rather die and find that out than to die and find out that there is a God and that you didn't believe? Think about it, guys, and it's not going to hurt you at all if you live a Christian life. And it doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot to it, actually, but all of it is good. I promise you, all of it is good. In the video, we'll show you things that I have received during this Christian experience, which has been about 6 months now. A rededication, anyway, that will just blow you away. They'll blow you away. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into them now. But, all right, guys, take care, and I'll try to have that video. It may be in parts because I tend to get windy. 25 minutes here, but take care, and I'll try to get that out. And guys, this is a really serious issue, and I hope that you take it serious. All right. Take care.